Joining me now is Alan Superglue Martinez, who picked up another win, this time at UWC 35 over Roberto Luna. Alan, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? I'm great. I feel amazing. Actually, an update on that. Roberto Luna actually pulled out 2 days before that fight. I ended up fighting Cesar Juarez out of Mexico City. He was like a 1-day notice replacement. Little hiccup with, I guess, Roberto Luna's weight cut. Couldn't get on the plane or issues there. So I had to get a 1-day replacement. So that was a quite interesting experience right there.
So in preparation for this interview, I went on Tapology and I swear it says you beat Roberto Luna. Maybe they just didn't make that change as far as your opponent on there.
Yeah, I got to hit him up. I got to email him or something because, yeah, no, it was and also too, it being like a 1-day replacement, I'm pretty sure they were aware it was going to be Roberto Luna, and then things happen in this fight game. It's one of those things. So yeah, it was Cesar Juarez who I fought.
Okay. Well, so how difficult is that for you as a fighter? I mean, because you're undefeated, you have big plans and goals here moving forward, right? So when you do lose an opponent and someone else is stepping in to save the fight, how do you gauge whether or not you want to still fight or you want to wait and have another camp and fight somebody else? Because obviously it kind of throws a monkey wrench into your preparations for who your original opponent was.
Well, it does a little bit, but not too much, because every fight I've had an issue with opponent either pulling out. So I'm always prepared for that. I don't want to expect it because then it just happens more frequently, but I'm aware of it. It's a fight game. Anything can happen. I mainly focus on what I can control, and that's myself and my thoughts. So I always make sure, like training, getting ready for a fight, getting ready for a fighter specifically, I just focus what I need to get done, what task and what drills I need to be doing. So I don't really necessarily like, oh, well, I was studying for this specific guy. Like, not really, because I understand it's a fight. So they know an arm bar, they know a triangle, they know a double leg, they know a punch, they know a kick. So if I'm aware of that, okay, I'll be just prepared. But yeah, I was a little ticked when I heard about the news, because I was getting ready. I was actually going to bed that Wednesday night. I was getting to bed around 8:30 because I do my weight cuts in the morning. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to bed around 8:30 p.m. over here, California time. And I got a call at 9:40, and it was about my opponent pulling out, and we might not have you fight. You might have to get rescheduled till July. And I had a lot of things I overcame on this camp, and I didn't want to push it back another 4 weeks, especially with the weight cut. I didn't want to just have my body go through that. So I was like, if you guys can do me a job and get me a fight, like you've done it before when I had a 4-day notice, and I've even had a 1-day notice on someone pulling out. So they've done it before. I was like, you guys can do it again if you can and everything. And then so they did. And I mean, I was prepared. The guy was tough. He was actually, I think, one of the smarter guys I fought because he waited. Not everyone waits. They always rush me. And that's where they get taken down or they get caught in an exchange. This guy waited for me, so I had to be the aggressor. But all in all, I mean, the company did good, get me a fight, and I mean, I'm blessed. And I didn't get hurt, and he didn't get hurt, so we're good.
When you were originally, planning to fight Roberto, and then you have this short notice replacement, what did your coaching staff tell you as far as your game plan goes? Did it change at all?
Yes and no, because Roberto was more of a karate stance guy. So and he switches from orthodox to southpaw frequently. And he likes to throw karate kicks. So like I was gonna have to be in my range. I'm a little longer, so I was gonna keep it in my range and everything. And if he threw any kicks, just grab it and take him down. But it didn't switch too much. I didn't know anything about this guy I was fighting, honestly, because it was a 1-day. I couldn't find a film. I really didn't worry too much about it. I just didn't know what stance he was. Just tell me if he's orthodox or southpaw. So I just know that. And then once I found that out, I was okay, we're good. That's all I needed to know. But yeah, my coaching staff, they were just keep your chin tucked, hands up, be ready for a storm. He's either going to throw at you, come at you, not care, or he's going to wait. And that's honestly all I have to worry about with any fighter I go into. They're either going to rush me or they're going to wait. So I have a game plan for both, and it always ends with me taking you down and beating you up on the ground or tapping you. So regardless, it's gonna end the way I want it to. I just got to get it to where I need it to be.
Was this fight still at 125 or with the short
It
notice
was a catch weight at 131.
131? Okay.
Because like I mentioned, I was getting ready for bed. And when I got the call, I wake up at 2:30 in the morning and start my cut around 3 in the morning on Thursday. Yeah, it's just things I got to get done. So, and weigh in at 9. So it takes me about a few hours to get the weight down. But I like to give myself some cushion time just in case the sauna is not working or the weight's not coming off. It gives me an extra cushion, a few hours to get whatever, half a pound or whatever I need off. But when I found out I wasn't fighting anyone, I was like, you can't find someone at just 125. Like there's just no one that's walking around at that weight. You cut to that weight. So if they're gonna find me a 1-day notice guy, they're gonna find him at 130. So, and they told me too, like, hey, if you want to make 25, you can, or you could just do a 130 catch weight. And we did a 131 catch weight. And yeah, so I honestly didn't have to cut no weight, maybe like 0.6, if that. So, I mean, I was a little upset with that because I do like the cut. It's a mental thing. And I prepared for it, but yeah, I woke up at weight, so it was kind of like, all right.
What do you typically walk around at? How big do you get?
145, max 150.
Okay, so as your career evolves here, oh, I think there's just a little lag time there with the video. I was just going to ask.
I noticed that right now.
As your career evolves, do you want to stay at flyweight, or would you consider bouncing back between that and 135?
I would love to, but I don't cut weight when I do 35s. Like it's not really a cut for me. And I've done that in amateur. When I fought amateur, I fought at 135 and I literally didn't have to cut any weight. So I realized like if guys are cutting 20 pounds to get to the weight class and they're bigger, and I train with Johnny Munoz, who's in the bantamweight in the UFC, and he's a legit 35er. Like he's not making it at 25s. He's stuck at 35s. His body will shut down if he gets that low. So he's like a really big 35er. And I see how big he is right now. And I'm like, I'm not getting that big. So there's no need for me to be in that weight class. But I'll stay at 25. It's not an issue for me. The weight's not too bad of a cut. I'm still young enough to keep it going. And I feel big at that weight class. I feel long, taller. I just feel great at that weight class.
All right. So 125 it is. Now, this fight here, UWC 35, it was in Tijuana, Mexico, and it was also on UFC Fight Pass. Tell me a little bit about just the promotion, the venue, what the energy was like in the building.
It was good. I'm sorry, someone's trying to call me right now. It was good. I was actually excited to finally fight with a crowd. I haven't fought with a crowd in 2 years. The energy was great. That's one thing that I love about fighting is like you can feel the energy when you have a live crowd, whether it's 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000. You can feel it. Like you're the spotlight, you're the center of the attention. You can feel all the energy is directed towards you. So, and TJ is a great crowd. I had family out there too, and a couple of guys from the gym. So I brought a little crowd with me. So it was cool to hear the super glue chants, and it was awesome. I mean, I love fighting with a crowd. I love being put in a spot with pressure. I thrive under pressure. It was interesting fighting without a crowd when I was fighting in TJ for my last few fights. And to me, I can switch to that fighter guy I need to be, to that. So like a samurai in there, dude. I got to turn into that guy that's going to be in a battle, and it's a war to me. So with the crowd, without a crowd, I could fight. That isn't, but I do feel the difference for sure, like energy wise.
Yeah, no, I love that answer. You mentioned Johnny Munoz earlier. I was going to ask you about your training partners and coaching staff. Just tell me a little bit about who's around you day to day.
So Johnny Munoz, he's but since day one, he's my brother. He's my cousin, but he's a brother to me. My uncle, he's my head coach, John Munoz. He owns Sequence. He runs everything here. He's like a dad to me. My aunt, which is a 3rd-degree black belt, she's here with the kids and everything and helps me out so much too. I got Aaron Weatherspoon. He fought King of the Cage, multiple-time champion. Ruben Duran fought in the UFC, multiple-time King of the Cage champ. A few other jiu-jitsu practitioners here that keep me on my toes. This other guy, he's fighting amateur right now. He's about to go pro, Freddie Johnson. Rick James. There's a few guys. I mean, they keep me on point. There's in California when I'm training. But when I go to Entrum, I cross train out there. And man, there's just so many guys there. I got these Luna brothers who's gonna be in the UFC pretty soon. Edgar Chairez, Jesus Aguilar. I mean, the list goes on. There's so many guys in Entrum. I mean, Daniel Barrais is out there. Juan Rabariero, he's a good training partner. Molo. It's just, I mean, I could keep going with the names and those guys. But yeah, it's just, I'm around a lot of top tier guys. I've been training with Brandon Moreno too when I shoot out to Vegas. Masio and Pitbull, I mean, they're out there too. So a bunch of guys. I mean, I look at it too, like I always look at it, I'm the baby in the game. I keep that mentality of like, I'm always a white belt, so I'm always learning from everyone. But when I'm around these greats and you can feel their presence and I'm holding my own with them, it just goes to show like I'm meant to be here.
How old were you when you knew that this is the path you wanted to be on?
Probably when I saw Johnny make his amateur debut back in 2014. I was about 16, 17. And I was like, you know what? I could probably do this whole fighting in the cage thing. I thought I was just going to be doing jiu-jitsu my whole life. To be honest, I started that at 6. And I thought like, okay, I'm just going to stick with jiu-jitsu. I didn't want to do it at all, but I had to. It was a non-negotiable with my uncle. But I ended up liking it and I ended up competing, doing well. And then I saw Johnny fight and I was like, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. And that looks awesome. And I started training the striking and everything. It took me a minute. I'm still working on it. And yeah, I was like, you know, I could do this. Like I could get in there. I could fight one day and I can make this a career. And so ever since I saw Johnny do it, I was like, okay, I'm doing it.
Well, you're 5-0 now as a professional mixed martial artist. I got to imagine your main goal is to make it to the top promotion in the world, which is the UFC. You're, as I mentioned, 5-0. You're really close to maybe getting a contender series shot, right? So tell me what you're hoping your goals are for the next year or two. What are you anticipating is going to happen for yourself as long as you keep winning?
Well, I take it fight by fight, of course, because anything can happen in this game. But I have it planned for 2024. That's when I'll shoot for the UFC. I still want to develop myself and get more ring time because all my fights have been in the first round. So I really don't have much ring time. And I will get the opponent one day where he pushes me to the second and the third rounds. And that's going to come. I feel it. And having those tough striking battles or grappling exchanges, I haven't had those yet really too much. I have them at the gym, but not in a fight. So I want to be able to know and have confidence I could do it. Because once you're in the UFC, you're in the UFC. There's no, oh, I need to get better. Well, yeah, we are going to get better, but not where it's like a drastic change. And I want to be able to get in there, do what I got to do, get to the top. So probably another a year and a half, 2 years, get to the UFC and then cause some mayhem in 25 division and then get to the belt. Sounds like a plan, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. I love where your head's at. Well, tell me time frame for your next fight. Are you hoping to get back in there soon? And is there a promotion that, you know, you're aiming to fight for? Are you going to go back down to Mexico and fight for UWC, or is there a promotion where you're at in Cali?
So there's promotions out in this area. I've been really enjoying the UWC and how they've been taking care of me, and the fact that they're on the Fight Pass, having that exposure right there where I got family in Mexico, and then there's people like that support me all over the globe, and they message me and, hey, I seen your fight, so that's kind of a cool platform to have with the UFC app and Fight Pass and UWC, and they take good care of me, and I mean they get me fights. Even when people pull out, they find me fights. So I don't know if any promotion can pull a 1 day notice the way they've done it, and few day notices and getting guys, and they do really well with that. So I'll probably stay with them for now. It seems like I'll stay there until I get to the UFC. That's what it's looking like. But I plan on fighting one more time by the end of the year. I'm shooting for the October timeframe, get in there in October, so I don't have to give up my Thanksgiving or Christmas. So if I can knock out October, we'll be good, and then shoot for about 3 or 4. I want to stay active next year. I want to push it, get 3. I've been averaging around 3 fights a year, so I want to get to like the four fights next year, and then probably shoot for the UWC belt next year, defend it twice, 2024, and then get ready for the UFC.
Now, you don't seem like the trash talking type, but I do want to ask: is there someone in your area that you're hoping maybe you'll fight next?
Honestly, they're just a bunch of blank faces. So um, I'll I don't really have names, honestly. They're just people that are there. So I don't really. I mean, to be honest, I look at myself as a UFC champ. So whatever I have to go through along the way, I have to go through. Whoever I got to fight, because you can have the whole, like a good example, Khabib and Tony Ferguson. And that was a 5 year in the making thing, and they never fought. So like, if you have your mind fixated on one person, it doesn't happen. The emotions tied with the goal and the energy towards that. I don't want to put it. So I know there's a champ in my division. I don't know how long he's going to stay in the UWC promotion. So I don't want to put it like, oh, I see myself fighting that man. Like, no, because what if he gets signed to another company, or now I'm over here like, oh, well, my head's spinning. No. So there's no one, honestly, that I want to fight where it comes to like a specific person. I just need to fight somebody. So fill in the blanks, get me a fight, and then we'll just go from there, honestly.
All right, man. I love the answer. Again, Alan Superglue Martinez picks up another win at UWC, this time UWC 35. Fantastic interviewing you for the first time, my man. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, the floor is yours.
I want to thank you first and foremost, and Iridium Sports for getting me this opportunity and everything. And Glue MMA is on my social media. Just look up the Glue MMA. You find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And if you want to reach out to me or sponsors or anything, go on my website or merchandise, www.gluemma.com. Check me out on there, message me on there. All my links are on there. And I just want to give a shout out to Sequence and Entrum for everything they do. And yeah, I'm blessed. Thank you. Appreciate the floor. And I look forward to getting on here soon with you.